Today is all about tricky, sneaky, but yet legal ways of finding out if your Filipina is hiding something.
You mean, Chrissy, you got sneaky yet legal ways to find out if your Filipina is lying on these pieces of paper?
Yes. You know what? Actually, when I was writing this, I was like, oh my God, I think this is the time that you are going to overthink.
Well, don't overthink it, but stay tuned. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Fly Me to the Philippines.
If you were an older man and you met a Filipina on one of the dating sites,
it is natural to have a trust issue, especially if you suspect that your Filipina is hiding something.
Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you how Chrissy can help you get to the bottom by doing a social media investigation for you. Chrissy, what do you got there?
We are going to start with the smart way, and here again I have the list of the smart ways.
You got tricky and legal in there too?
Yeah, smart way, sneaky, and tricky.
Okay, let's see what you got. Oh, you want me to read it?
Okay.
Okay. Pay attention to social media behavior. Chrissy, I can't tell you how many times when I was trying to find a Filipina before I met you that I would get a hold of their social media and lose interest. You know, I'd see pictures of them at a resort in a bikini. I'd see a lot of tattoos. I'd see them at the beaches with a lot of cousins, supposedly. And I just was looking for an old school girl like you, like a 1960s America woman.
It actually depends on what is your preference. You know, if your preference is to have a model-like woman that is very confident to show her body on social media, then maybe,
Sure.
Yeah, you will like it. But if you would like to have a very traditional Filipina, then I think that's not the way to go.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks. If you want to find a more transactional woman who will run off to the resort with you, you probably find her on the dating site Tinder. Yeah. But if you want to go with a more traditional dating site like Christian Filipina, Filipino Cupid, or even OkCupid, Dating in Asia, Pina Love, you're not really looking for a girl who's showing a bikini. You know, most girls go in shorts and a t-shirt to the beach here in the Philippines. 99% would be that
just
way.
Like this.
If you are looking for an old school girlfriend, Chrissy, what should they look out for when they look at social media sites?
Well, of course, Filipinos who shared about religious matters, about their family, activity in their lives that usually happen, like birthdays and churches. When it comes to social media behaviors, if your Filipina is like dancing provocatively on social media, I think it's a red flag. And also if she's showing her, sexy, almost nude photos on social media, I think it could be also a red flag. And also one thing that I observed is that there are some Filipinas that are a war freak on Facebook.
War freak?
Yeah, war freak.
What's a war freak?
They're gonna post some hateful messages on the posting. So that's kind of the behavior that you wanted to be avoided.
They may be hateful with you one day. Okay, what else we got, Chrissy?
Reverse image search her picture.
This is an effective tool. It's not always successful, but it's a step you shouldn't miss. You can capture an image and do a reverse image search. What might they find?
Yeah, they will find that the pictures that they use in a dating app profile are just stock photos.
Not really the person.
Yes, or an actress from some other countries. I've done that before. Like there's a person who sent me a picture of his kids, he said, and then I was like, it's very, it's like a model. So I had tried it to use in a reverse image. In a reverse image
busted,
in
huh?
Google, and then I found out it's just a stock photo.
Oh my God. What else we got here?
He lied to me.
He lied. So not just the women that lie.
Yeah, of course.
Cross-check her story. So, Chrissy, this is, you don't have to be too sneaky, but when she tells you certain stories, ask her some details. What was the name of the restaurant? And when she gives you the name of the restaurant, we'll see what city the restaurant is in. Maybe she just threw it. Yeah. Ask her some finer details of her story. Sometimes you want to wait a day or two. And if you recall the story very clearly, think about a question you can ask her to cross-check her stories and see if she trips up. You know, when you're talking to 3 or 4 men and you're telling the same story to all 3, sometimes you can't quite remember the details you provided to one and not the other, and it's a good way to trip them up.
I think that's a really good way to see her consistency of her stories, if it's really true. And it's effective. I actually use that to you. And, when I ask you questions, I know the answer, but I'm just going to try to test you.
And let me just say here, Chrissy, you got to be careful. You can't come across as Detective Gadget, Sherlock Holmes. You have to move forward because she could be a pure, wonderful Filipina.
Yeah.
And if you spook her and you come across as like really suspicious and not trusting, you can spook her. So proceed with caution. I say trust, but verify.
Yeah, I think you can proceed in a very natural way, not in a way that you are like, stalking her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So be careful of that. Look for odd time gaps. If she says she's sleeping, but it's not really nighttime, if she ghosts you for short periods of time, look for unusual behavior and pay attention to what time this is happening and if it makes sense.
You know what? If your Filipina is working, you will know her schedule. So you will know what time is she going to be out on, offline. But if your Filipina will be out for like 1 day minimum and, maximum of 2 days, it's really suspicious already, especially if she's not going to tell you what's going on and she's just gone without telling you.
If she says she's sick and she's slept for 10 hours, you can look on Messenger and WhatsApp and you can see if she's online. You can see the last time online. Mm-hmm. And now you can compare some of these time gaps that were created and whether she was really at work, she was really using social media to maybe talk to another man. So, Chrissy, what about Facebook time gaps?
We talk about this, that if you're Filipina Facebook, there's like years of gap without posting. It could be questionable where she've been in that years.
Maybe she took a job as a bar girl for 6 months in Manila. When you are hiring in the corporate world, you're always looking to see if there's a gap in the resume. Was the person fired? Did it take them a year to find another job? And you look carefully because they should put down the month they started the job, and if not the day. And so with Filipinas and Facebook pages, quite often there will be gaps of several years that just disappear from the page that is public.
Yeah. So you have to also watch for that. Next is observe financial request.
Well, I always say, Chrissy, a short con will reveal itself in 15 days for between $150 to $250. But you got to be careful because the Filipina may just hint. She may tell stories where she had a financial burden. And it's in the West, $200 is a very small amount of money, and people will feel compelled to jump on their white horse. Or they may just come out and ask, the sewing machine broke, and they're a seamstress, and they're out of business, and for only $164, they can get a used machine. Mm-hmm. There it is. So you got to really be careful, and if she's making or hinting, what do you say, Chrissy?
She's not real, or she's 90% scammer.
Why would if you told your girlfriends how to meet a Western man, what was the first thing you would tell them?
I will tell them not to request or hint for any money if you are serious. Because one sign that your girl is very serious with you is that no matter how she needed something, she will not hint. When I met you online almost 2 years ago, that was April 1, and then I did not tell you that my birthday is coming up. Because when you tell the person, oh, by the way, my birthday's coming up, it could be understood in different way.
Yeah,
you might think I was hinting for a gift. Yeah.
The first ones were the smart. What about the tricky ways? People want to hear how you get tricky.
When I was listing all this, I felt like, this is too much, but some of these are needed, if needed.
Let's see. Use a friend's account to check if she's on a dating app. Well, you could purchase a second app just to do your background investigations, and you could use a friend's dating app. We have a friend who told a story where he had his friend contact his Filipina, and she wrote him back, and he said he was interested in a threesome, and she said, I'm good to go. Yeah. Chrissy, before I met you, I met this girl, and we had this amazing 1-hour video chat, and she wrote me and said she was taking down her profile. And I was shocked that it went that well and she was going to take down her profile. And I thought, I'm just going to see if it's true. And I searched plus or minus 30 kilometers from where she lived, plus or minus 2 years of her age. And sure enough, her profile had been taken down, but there was a brand new one that was created within 24 hours, 10 miles away, 1 year age difference, same photo. And
she did not tell you one thing. She said, I took down my profile, but I created a new one.
Yeah, so you got to watch.
Yeah, you know, when I met you and then I felt like, okay, I think this guy deserves a shot. I took down my profile, but I didn't tell you. But then one day you told me, maybe we should take down our profiles. And I said, oh, I already did.
Oh,
I think that was a plus points for
a
you.
plus.
Huh?
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Check her online activity without asking directly.
Yeah, so you can see the last time she posted on Facebook, the last time people post on Instagram or TikTok. You can see on WhatsApp if sometimes you can turn off the ability for people to see if your message has been read or if they're online. I think that's a little suspicious. I allow my people to see if I'm on WhatsApp and Messenger, but it can be turned off. I think it's a little red flag if they turn it off. But you can see if they're talking to somebody else online. Now, if they here in the Philippines, quite often they're talking for business or with friends on WhatsApp, more likely Messenger. Actually. But if they're on WhatsApp, you want to know why. Sometimes, hey, at 3 a.m. your time, I saw you were online. What's up? You might want to just check it out.
Yeah, actually, I would suggest that WhatsApp will be the best way for you to communicate with your Filipinas, because you will know that she's only using it for you, because it's Messenger. She contacts her friends, her families, her classmates, and then it's very, she uses it all the time. But for WhatsApp, you will know she will be online on WhatsApp when she contacts
Now, Chrissy, I've told people that I used to tell people, oh, I don't like WhatsApp. I got like conspiracy theory in my head. I want to use Messenger. Because if she gives me her Messenger information, I can quickly link over to her Facebook page. And if I see her in a bikini at a 5-star resort with a giant tattoo on her chest, I know I don't really want to talk to her, and I could just skip the whole 30-minute video chat.
Yeah.
But I think your point is right. If she's on WhatsApp, it's more likely, if you see her online at 4 a.m., what's up? Who are you talking to at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, but your also suggestion about using Messenger is very helpful to backtrack her
Facebook
profiles.
page. Yes, okay.
Yeah, that's very good.
All right, this one's me. Okay, let's see. Monitor her last seen on messaging. I mean, this is the same thing. The last time, it'll not only will it say if she's online, but it'll say when she was last online. And on WhatsApp, it shows last online.
Yes, unless if she turned it off.
Unless she turned it off.
If your Filipinas turning off her online activity on WhatsApp, it's a red flag.
And quite often they'll say, I was stalked by my last boyfriend. I lost my Facebook. I can't friend you on my Facebook page because my boyfriend stole my password and she blocked me out. You're going to hear a lot of excuses why the other Facebook pages are not available for you to see.
Yeah. See if she has multiple Facebook accounts.
So this is really hard to do. A lot of times everything's locked and it's almost impossible. However, Chrissy has a technique that she uses for some of our clients. The woman's maiden name will always in the Philippines be the mother's last name.
Yeah.
And if she's from a smaller town, let's say the mother's maiden name was Sanchez, your girl's middle name is Sanchez, and she's from a town of 30,000 people, you can find all the Sanchez's in that town. These are her cousins, and these cousins absolutely are friends with her real account. And you will find, and Chrissy has done this before, we have run into locked accounts that were created for the boyfriends, but we have found the cousins friending her main account with 2,000 or 3,000 friends from her hometown. The cousins are always friends with the girl. Also, Chrissy, there's breadcrumbs. Foreigners who leave likes and comments often. You can go to their pages, and sometimes on their pages, there are the photos of the flowers he gave on Valentine's, or she sent him a photo, she received the flowers and the chocolates. It's on, it was on her page. Now, the other thing, Chrissy, they may have blocked you. So the page could be public and everybody can see the Valentine pictures but you. So when you find the boyfriend's page, you're not blocked, and boom, now you can see the picture she posted for everyone but you.
Yeah. You know what? The very good sign that your Filipina's not lying to you is when she accepted your friend request on her real Facebook without any doubt.
Right. Now, Chrissy, we talked about using a friend's account for dating
Dating
sites,
site.
if you're blocked, you're going to need to use a friends or create a second Facebook page, because you can just block a person, or all five. You could block your Australian boyfriend, your American boyfriend, British boyfriend, and you could just post to your heart's content, knowing that those people will not see certain postings, like when you went to the beach with your cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. Next will be, this is yours.
Okay. Ask her to video chat at random time. If she's really reluctant to video chat in her evening, she always wants to video chat in the morning, maybe after her husband went to work, or after the kids and her husband are out of the house, or her boyfriend's out of the house. But she never wants to video chat in the evening. Ask her to video chat at random times a day and gauge her reactions and her reasons why she doesn't want to do it.
Now let's go to the sneaky ones. This is very interesting, and I was writing this and kind of like funny. Okay. Offer to visit her unexpectedly.
Yeah. If you are, you don't have to visit, but you could say, hey, I can be there next Tuesday night at 8:00. See what she says. Tell her that you're planning to visit, and you're not sure if you can get off work, but I could maybe be there next week. See the reaction and see if she would welcome that.
Yeah, I think if she's not hiding something, she will be more excited.
She'll get very excited.
But if she's hiding something, she'll get panic and
excuses
will give you a lot of
out.
excuses.
Yeah,
It can't come.
Sneaky but legal.
Yeah,
Yes.
sneaky. Next. Ask a local contact to check on her. Actually, this is very difficult, and you will look like a very paranoid person when you do that.
There are professional detective agencies, but they charge for social media investigations like we do. But to actually get somebody to private eye your girl, I don't think it's really doable.
Yeah.
But we're a local contact. And Chrissy, when you do it, you bring a different perspective. You're a Filipina, and you know a lot of Filipinas, and you know their behaviors. And so you can kind of tell whether what she's doing is normal. And your eyeballs are kind of a less intrusive version of that.
Intrusive. You know what? There's something you need to know. You cannot trust your Filipina friends that are around her, because, they cannot be trusted, because their loyalty will be with their Filipinas as well. So if you're going to ask them, what is she doing? If she's doing something bad, then they're not going to tell you. And if she's not doing anything else, their friends will tell her, you know what?
Right.
He's being sneaky with you.
I think Filipinas are on social media so much, and if they get flowers on Valentine's Day, it's impossible for them not to share photos with their families, or some of their friends are going to have these pictures on there. It's impossible for her not to be proud about it. Or if she goes to a 5-star resort, she cannot not put it on some form, and you just have to follow the breadcrumbs until you find it.
I remember when we had this assembly in our church, and there's like a big bouquet of flowers, in the altar. And then I think all of the women had
pretended they were given the flowers.
Took pictures of it. And then to my post, I put there, I can buy myself flower.
Yeah. We had one client, Chrissy, and his Filipina was living in an apartment with drywall or plaster, and it made no sense. And it took you about 45 minutes before you found out that on another tertiary social media site, she posted something which pretty much completely approved that she was receiving rent money from another foreigner. Yeah.
Well, good for him, because he got that.
Yeah, because he found
asset.
out. Yeah, right. Send a small gift to her address. So if you don't know exactly where she lives, or she tells you she lives one place, you're not really sure. She won't show you the blue dot exactly down to the street level when you ask, because you can go to your Google map and just go to the bathroom, and I'll show you roughly, I live in this part of the city. Yeah. You'll ask her to do the same. But if you want to send her a small gift, you'll need her address. And if she won't let you send it to her house, she needs it sent to a friend's house or something like that, that's going to be a clue. So that's a tricky way to get her address.
Yeah, it's tricky. But there is also one thing that they need to know. Here in the Philippines, there are a lot of us that are living in squatters area. Yeah. So we don't really have like a real block number, address, or gate or street. So sometimes when people from abroad will send us gifts or packages, we will try to send it on the house where there is an exact address so that the delivery will not, delivery will not be confused. I think if your Filipina will send you an ID with address on it, I think that's the way to go.
That's even better. Now, if they do, if you know, I've always said, you know, second or third video call, like, hey, I'm really this age. Here's my passport. I'll just cover up my number, but you can see the whole passport. If you get her to show up an ID, and all Filipinas have, if they work, they have to have a work ID. There's no such thing as a job where you don't have a work ID. Have her hold it up, take a screenshot, and then you've captured her middle name, and you've got a copy of that documentation. So when you come see her, you can leave it with your brother, and he at least knows why you went missing, who to contact.
I think another sneaky way of finding out her, what do you call
address?
Her address, her profile, is that when you tell her that when you come here in Manila, you need to book her a ticket, plane ticket, and also you will need her ID for the Airbnbs or hotels, so you can get the copy.
That's a good way to get her passport or her driver's license or her barangay voting ID card. That you need to. You're going to book a ticket to Boracay, and you need to get her ID. Take a screenshot so she doesn't Photoshop it and send it to you
for the accommodations and something. Okay, create a test scenario.
Okay,
this one is very interesting because test scenario. Actually, I could recommend this to somebody.
What is this?
Like you pretend that, oh my God, I lost my job today.
Oh,
and, let's see how she will react. If she will be supportive or she will be discouraged because you lost your job.
The stock market, the bottom fell out, I'm broke. So I lost my job. And I found out I have cancer.
I think that's too much. She will, if she really loves you, she will be depressed when she
you don't
hears
want to do that. But you could, if you think she's into you for your money, you could test her. I once met this woman, and she said, I have this girlfriend, and she dated this guy, and he claimed he was so poor and he was so broke, and after like 8 weeks, it turned out he was a millionaire. That's not you, is it? She said to me. I said, no, that's not me.
Okay, so create some other test that will test her
loyalty and true love.
Yeah. I think that's good. Next,
look at her phone's reflection.
What is that?
Well, when you're video chatting, sometimes there's a little bit more in the picture than you bargained for. Like every now and then I'm talking to a client in the bedroom and you're walking out of the bathroom. Thank God you have a towel on. But, sometimes in the video chat, there's some data in the background. There could be men's clothing. There could be a reflection in the window. There could be a mirror that's reflecting. There could be something being revealed in the video chat. Usually people are going to be careful and they're not going to give away the goods, but you should look carefully. And then I always say, ask her to do a walkabout. Do a walkabout. Show me where you live. Introduce me to your roommate. Walk out onto the street and show me both ends of the street. I want to walk across the street. Show me the window that I see in your bedroom. Act curious and interested, but pay attention to what's reflected in her phone's camera.
It reminds me of the joke here for the men. Like, do not wear glasses when you're watching videos on your phones, because your girlfriend or your wife will see what you're watching through the reflection.
Yeah, interesting. Well, some men wear mirrored glasses so their wives can't see which direction their eyeballs are looking in. Yeah, but none of that works with you. So it's Chrissy, tricky, sneaky, yet legal and smart ways to check up on your Filipina. Now, if you're interested in a 90-minute video consultation, there's a link in the description box and in the comments. And Chrissy has a service that you'll see where she does a deep dive on social media. And then as part of the Platinum package, she does a shallow dive. The book, Chrissy, is going off for formatting today and should be sent to Amazon this week.
It's called A Modern Man's Guide to Living, Traveling, and Finding Love Here in the Philippines.
Chrissy, it's like a fact book with almost 300 pages, 22 chapters and 24 addendums. Crime, restaurants, beaches, scuba, dating apps. We cover 10 different dating apps. It's got everything. We're going to have a free weekend when we first publish it as an ebook, so stay tuned for more information on that. Till next time.
Only here from Fly Me to the Philippines. See you in our next video.
That you'd have some suspicions as...
That's not your line.
Okay, what